Hey kids, we're doing something other than guitars right now. So welcome back to Guitar Quackery Live, this channel. Guitar Quackery is, a live streaming guitar repair channel. One of the two that I know of. And we're not working on guitar. I'm done with guitars tonight for the rest of the day, evening. It's 9:40 p.m., September 11th, 2025. Oh, and today was the first day of the New York Fashion Week. And why is that significant? Well, because I'm doing something for someone who has something to do with the New York Fashion Week. Eva Sita, the collaborator of Guitar Quackery, the first Ivorian woman who ever in history graduated from Berkeley. She's a musician, and she is a Guitar Quackery collaborator. She plays the kora. She appeared on Guitar Quackery Live a couple of times. We're fixing her kora. She needs a preamp. We started tinkering together, but honestly, I need to do a little work that is not going to be the best use of her time to be here with me. So I just need to do some prep work, and then maybe we'll assemble it together, I hope. I hope. Let me copy and paste the link. Maybe she wants to watch. So where is she? Here? Oh, notifications are silenced. No problem. Copy and paste. And it goes out. So she has the option. Okay. What are we doing here? Well, I need to focus a little bit now. Now we're doing electronics work. All right, so I found something that's going to be useful. I found a tuner. I'm getting no signal from this camera sometimes. Something's wrong with this camera. It's going dark on me sometimes. Like now. I see it on the monitor. Now it's black again. Am I going to have to buy a new camera? Just now this thing needs to break. Well, it's kind of working on and off. As long as I don't move it around, I guess. What can I do? I know what happened to this camera. We're not going to get into it right now. It was my fault, whatever happened to it. Kind of my fault. So, here are the, things. So, let me just show you from above first. So, we won't deal with this right now. This is a battery, obviously. This is going to be a foot switch. This is a preamp from a guitar. So, the guitar had to be scrapped. It was a Fender acoustic guitar. You saw me smash the guitar in one of the videos. Well, that's what sometimes needs to be done according to, company policy of, all the manufacturers, that once they replace the guitars, if you do a warranty service, you need to destroy the original, smash it into pieces. Okay, but I found this. This is interesting. So this is a tuner. So it had an input and output jack. Which one is in? Which one is out? This one says in. This one says out. Okay, all right, fine. Let me label this. This is out. So out is going to have an arrow pointing this way, and in is going to have an arrow pointing this way. Logical. In and out. So this way I know what I'm doing. So the input jack was here. And why did I remove it? I should have left it on because I could have just done this instead of doing what I'm about to do. All right, well, it is what it is, because I removed it. It was there. I could have just done this, and we would be in business. Okay. So this is going to be the tuner. Now we need to test the tuner. So how are we going to test it? Well, this is the tip, and this is the ground. Okay, so I have a multimeter here. Let's try. Test something here. Is this the best way to do this? Well, hold on. Like this. How about this? There you go. All right, so now it's mounted. So that's the input. And I want to know if these two are connected. So we're looking at this. They're not. What about these two grounds? Also not. What about these are connected? What about this and this? Not connected. That's surprising. Okay, so that's ground, right? Wasn't it beeping before? Oh, this and this. Yeah, but not this and this. And not this and this. Just this and this. Or this and this. Okay, so you see, I keep forgetting. I'm forgetful. So I'm going to mark it off, maybe in black. So there's a ground connection here. And I said this one, right? Ground and ground. Let's see, again. Ground and ground, yeah, okay. And then we have the tip. Let me see if these two are connected. They're not. And the tip on this one, not. Anything here connecting? Okay, so that's the tip we need to use, I believe. And that I'm going to mark off in red. So they're both on this side. We ignore these outside ones, I think. So we're going to test it. So this and this is the tip. Okay, it's pretty easy, I think. We'll see. So now what I want to do is connect some jumpers, jumper wires. So let's lift this up a little bit so we can put jumper wires there. Oh, it broke off. Just what I wanted. And this one too. Is this one going to break off? Probably. Look at that. It's all breaking off. Well, no problem. So I need to take the soldering gun. And let me think here for a moment. This was in. So what I want to do ultimately is this. We'll have the tuner here, and we'll have, let's see if this fits all together. So this is the input, right? So the input of this needs to be connected to the output of this. So I'm just going to have to remove the jack. And then we need this jack connected to this. So I'm warming up this thing, and while it's warming up, what can I do? Nothing much. I can put it here. Like this. All right. So I'm going to solder some wires to these, and that should work, I hope. So while it's warming up, let's get some wires ready. Who is this? Dr. Jeffrey Boyle. Yeah, we're working on that preamp pedal. Let me get out of frame here for a moment. We have, well, I got some scrap wires. So I like to save wires that I think are going to be reused. Why not? Like this one. It's perfectly good wire. But let me think. Well, actually, I'll use this more solid one. Those are also scraps. So whenever I wire something, I first want to look at scraps, if we can use scraps. And yeah, it looks like we can. And we will. Or we are using scraps. I also have this, well, it's just a name. It's not really a company. Frankentronics. So electronics made out of resurrected stuff. A lot of electronics end up in the landfills, but you know, we can reuse them. Okay, input is here. Okay, this is the solder. Is this warm enough? We'll soon find out. All right, so I'm just going to prime these connections. I need a better soldering iron for the shop. I have a better one at the other shop. It seems that I need to warm up the soldering iron a little more before we can do this. I didn't think I should have preheated it. So first thing I want to check is if everything is working, if the tuner is working, right? So I need to be able to connect a battery. And I have this thing. So we can use some jumper cables for this. Yeah. So this little thing is going to connect to this while that thing is warming up, okay? But I need to connect the battery to this. So I have a battery here, and I need two jumper wires, and I have them here. Okay. And that's how we'll know if this thing works. So black is ground, negative. It's actually well made, you see. Okay. And red is hot. So just need to strip this a little bit to establish a connection to the jumper wire. Look at this. Like this. Okay. Oh, come on. All right. And let's connect this here. And I guess first things first, we want to make sure that this even works. So this should be connected to this, and this should be connected to this. Let's see what happens if I push this. Nothing. Well, I think it's because I need to connect on the input. Let me think. I think I need to establish a connection between the two. Yeah, between these two and these two, I think. So we'll see about this in a minute. Or maybe it would be a good idea to test to see if we are actually getting any power here. So this is easy to do with the multimeter. So I should be seeing a 9 volt reading. I was going to say minus 9 volts now because I'm swapping the two. You see, I'm not connected to power. And that's probably because of this one here on this side. Because there's this plastic here that's in the way. Okay. Now we can establish a connection. And now I should get a 9 volt reading on the multimeter. Yeah, 9.23. So now let's see if it works. Oh, come on. Like this. Oh yeah, I think it lights up. Look at that. All right, it works. And what happens if I push? Oh, you turn it off. On, off. So when it's on, the tuner works, but the signal doesn't go any further. Yeah, because you don't want to be tuning your guitar or whatever it is through the amp, right? You want to tune it quietly. And then you turn off the tuner, and then the signal goes to the preamp. That's how it's going to be. Okay, so this works fine. Now we need to connect. So let me disconnect the power. So we just tested this. And now we need to connect this wire here. But first I need to put some solder here and here and here and here in four places. Easy peasy. Okay, that's the ground input. This is the signal input. Like that. Signal output. I think. I hope. And ground output. So the grounds are all the same. I could even connect it to that one. But let's do it this way. Okay. That's exciting. And now we need to put, oh, I should switch the camera. A little bit of solder on this. Okay. And melt it. That's it. And now we do the same for the signal input. Signal input. It's really pretty simple stuff. How should I do this? Like this. Okay. Okay. That's it. Oh, well, no, almost. Need to connect it like this. Okay, so these two are connected. I don't need a long run of wires. Let me see, because I'm connecting it like this. This is going to be against that wall. I think I should turn this one around. It's going to be hitting the side otherwise. Okay, so sorry, I'm clumsy. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. This way. I like this better. I certainly hope this will be a reliable connection. Those are microelectronics. I really don't like working with microscopic electronics. So how long of a run do we need? I just want to have some slack inside of the box, so I'm going to say about this much. And now let's just cut. And that's it for the input, I think. Boom, look at that. So now we will be able to even test it, but I like to twist the pairs. And now, since we're running from the tuner into the preamp, this was connected to the preamp. Well, we don't want that anymore because now we're using a tuner. So let me just disconnect this. From the input jack. Okay, I wish I had a, well, you know what? There's a trick, right? Why don't we do it the right way? Well, I have 0 viewers. Nobody wants to watch me build a preamp pedal. There will be some good stuff here. So this is what I'm doing. So this is just a cable. I'm going to put this here. No, this one. All right. And now it's secure, right? So now I can just do this. You see? See, this alone is worth the money, worth your time. And now this is called pushback wire. So I should be able to just push back a little bit. Like this. And expose some of this wire. But it's sometimes annoying, to be honest with you. So let me just do this instead. Maybe this size. No, maybe this size. Yeah. I don't really like this pushback wire, this actual one. They don't always perform the way they're supposed to in terms of pushback ability. Okay, and now we want to connect, well, the ground to ground and the signal to signal. But first we want to put a little solder here and there. There, like that, and like this. Okay. Phew. I gotta think, am I doing this right? So we are going to have the signal going in. I hope I'm doing this right. So what I am thinking about right now is I don't want this to be powered all the time. So I'm going to have to think about this. Here on this one, we have a switch that's going to be the output from the preamplifier. So this completes the circuit, and then the preamp gets power. So I would actually want to take power from here into this, because this has a switch on it, so that the preamp, so that the tuner isn't drawing power the whole time. So now we need to test this, how this works. So these two are connected to this. I gotta think about this. We have the signal. Okay, so the black one. Oh, I remember now. It's the negative that gets cut off. So the positive is going to be always connected, the power positive, and the negative gets cut off. So we're going to get the negative from here in order to power up this thing. And I do want to test this, how it works. So I'm going to plug this in. So now this is powering up, right? But we don't want that. Or can we just do it like this? So this is when it's on, and now it's off. So we could also do it this way. Just remember to turn it off, which is going to be obvious. Yeah, okay. So let's first do the output jack, the input jack. This is ground. Okay, I'm going to have to flood it a little more. And this is signal. I'm just bending it. I'm putting something here to pry it open. Like that. Okay, we'll let it cool off, and now we can turn this a little bit. It just needs a little more solder here. It's not a really good connection right now, so we can't leave it like that. Flood it, hold it, don't move it, watch it cool off, and that's it. Okay, now we have this connected to this, which means now if I connect a guitar, which I'm going to do right now, this guitar, we should be able to tune it, right? So we turn this on. Yeah, look at that. E, B, G, D, A, E. Right? It's a chromatic tuner. It's also going to pick up other pitches. So now I want to disconnect this. And now we have to deal with the output of this unit. So first, let's check this. So this is going to go here, somehow like this. Is it going to fit? Ah, you see? So that's a little bit of a challenge now. So if this is here, we need to be able to fit this inside as well. Everything needs to fit. And it's a bit tight, a little tight for my taste. It barely fits. Okay, barely fits means that it fits. So we have the input jack here. I'm going to put it in this orientation. Let me show you from this view. So this can be here, the preamp, right here. Input jack here in this orientation. This thing here. So this doesn't need to be centered. I kind of like it off center. Battery is going to be here. So let's put it there so we make sure it all fits. The battery is going to fit like this. Yeah, and the output jack is going to fit right here. It all fits, okay? Good. So now I can see that I wouldn't have been able to keep the input jack that I removed from here, because this is going to be mounted on this plate, right? So this needs to be removed from time to time to change the battery. So yeah, I don't think that would have worked anyway, because this needs to be mounted also on the plate, obviously. Otherwise, if it's not mounted, it's going to break. So we have this, this, and this here. Okay, it's a bit tight, but it works, right? So now we work outside of the box, and we think outside of the box as well. And what we are going to do now is connect two wires from the output of the tuner, the output of the tuner. And seems like I have an audience right there. Well, I had some people. Now I have one viewer. Well, not a very popular show today. All right. Let me check something. Just business, keep checking things. And yeah, back to this. Okay, we do the exact same thing we just did with the input connections. We do the same thing to the output. I'm basically going to connect two wires. The black one and the white one. Yeah, you know, I'm stripping pushback wire, which defeats the purpose of it being pushback wire. But it doesn't really work well as the pushback type. Okay. Okay, it's a bit too long. Nah, it's fine. So what is this? Black goes here. And like I said, I wanna do it in this direction, right? Like the other one. Just like that. And we can do this. And then white, we can turn it around. I guess this is a better view in this case. We just need a little more solder on that. It's called a pad. On this pad. Yeah, that's better. And just bend it a little bit. There you go. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? No, this. We can just connect this. Ah, okay. Yeah, keep it simple. Sorry, kids. Old age is catching up, and I'm making mistakes. What can you do? It'll happen to you kids as well. Yeah, when I was your age, this wasn't happening. But now that I'm an elderly person, huh? And don't make fun of old people. You'll be old too, if you're lucky. Okay, so how do we do this again? So this is for the ground. That's good. Trying to spin it around. And this is for the non-ground signal. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Okay, so now all that's left is the power to the tuner. And like I said, I'm going to mark off which one is. Okay, so on this side we have plus. So that's red here. Because I think that I'm going to end up removing this this thing, and I'll connect straight to these. I'm not sure yet. I will know in a minute. So for now, what we want to do is test it with some jumpers. So this is how I want to test it. So I am removing this, right? And I think that this ground here, the minus, is going to be the same as this ground. So I'm going to test this first, just to know, to understand the circuit better, right? So if I connect it to any ground here, yeah, it's the same as expected. So that's the one that needs to be interrupted, which means we can connect a jumper from the plus terminal straight to the plus terminal here. How do I do that? There's no exposed wire that I can see. So, okay, we'll deal with this in a moment. And now we have this to be connected to either this or that. So let me see. Okay, we have this, and we're going to need to so hold on. We need the black wire connected to this, and we need to make sure they don't short out because they're very close together. So I'm going to stagger them a little bit. And I would like to turn this around so we can see better if it lights up. So what we want is for this thing to light up when we, so the battery is not connected yet, and this is going to have to be connected to the plus, which is on this side. Let's see what we can do. Can I somehow clip onto this? Not really. But what I could do possibly is put a small wire here. Let's find something. Improvising. Just any little small wire. How about... So this is why I like to keep scrap wires. Look at that. I have the perfect one now. Where are my tweezers? Look at that. Little scrap, and it's exactly what I need. So I'm going to put this one here. And that's the purpose of it, is just so I can connect the jumper like this. Okay? So now we have the power connected, and now what I want to know is if I plug this in, does this turn on? Let me see. Yeah. And now it should turn off when I unplug it. Hold on. It doesn't. So, no, I'm plugging it into the wrong one. See what I tell you before, old age. So hold on, why is this on? This is not even connected. That's not what I wanted to see. Okay, let me figure this out first. We have, you see, even when I unplug the, so it's getting, it's connected to this ground, that's why. All right, let's deal with this first. I'm going to connect these two. So it's not getting the volts. 9 volts, okay. So this is where the power goes into the preamp after you plug it in. Plug in the guitar. Or, you know, not the guitar, but into the amplifier, you see? Now we plug it, 9 volts. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. This is a little bit of a problem now. Because of this connection, basically the signal connection, it's getting power. How are we going to test the theory? Hold on, I just noticed something. I'm not sure if I'm seeing it right. Okay, how are we going to test the theory? Well, we're going to test the theory like this. We put this here. And now with the black one, so this is nothing now. If I touch this, you see 9 volts. Yeah. What do? I don't want to be powering this unit when the preamp isn't plugged into an amp, right? When there's no cable connected to this to preserve the battery, obviously. So I wonder if I disconnect this, and in this case, if I connect this wire, and this is just for testing, right? So let's test this again. So now I should not be getting 9 volts, and I'm not, but I'm getting 9 volts if I touch this. Yeah. So now if I connect this here to the plus terminal, and let's turn this around. Making sure it's only touching the plus terminal. And now, if I connect this to what? To this one, right? So the black one should be connected to this pushback wire here, which I need to strip because it's not pushing back. Okay, if I do it this way, this isn't on. Now, is it going to be getting power once I plug this in? Wish me luck. There you go. But now, is it working? So we need another cable, guitar cable, which I have one, I think, to connect the guitar to the input of what is going to be the unit. Right. Sorry. That sounds about right, period. Actually, that sounds like a discount, period. Sorry, I'm multitasking. And, you know, feel free to multitask as well. But I got multitasking work to do. That is just so nasty. How could someone just... Perhaps he wanted to raise the value to sell it on Reverb as a relic, period. Reverb. And I'm going to put... So I'm thinking I need cable. Where do I get one? I thought I had... Not, oh, I have one. I'll be out of frame for 2 seconds. I got too many guitars here. Okay, so now that this is powered up, here is the test that we need to do. So what I plugged in here is the output, this, which would go into an amplifier. So we might as well test that, although this is an electric guitar I'm going to be plugging in. Sorry about the mess here. It's a work mess. Okay. But we're also going to connect a foot switch to turn this unit on and off. Okay, so that's another layer of challenge, whatever, complication. So here, we want to connect in the input jack to the guitar. And now, I connected the output to the amplifier, and the amp is off. But first, let's see if this works. E, B. Do you see that? Okay, so G, D, A, E. Okay, so this works. I can turn it off. And now when I turn it off, now the signal should go into the amp. Let's see. Yes, okay. It's pretty loud because it's pre-amplified, right? Amplified. Now this is volume. It works. Tone. Okay, it's gonna work because it works. And now it should turn off this thing. Exactly what we want. And that's so that when you tune the guitar, when you're tuning, it's not going to be a guitar, it's going to be a kora, right? For Eva Sita. So when you're tuning, so that the annoying tuning sounds don't get amplified. So I know you don't see this, now you see it. Okay, and then you turn off the tuner. Yeah, that's that. Okay, good. Kids, I'm happy about this. This works so far. But there's more. Let me unplug this before something happens. I don't like to have too many cables hanging. You can pull a cable accidentally and then disaster happens. So, okay, that's good. That's all good news. That's all good news. I'm gonna need a way to tap into this circuit. I think I'm just going to cut this wire here, strip it, and connect, you know, positive power to this. So we don't need this now. But what we should figure out now is how to do this bypass switch for the preamp. So the bypass switch, well, that might be something. That's something that I think I need to look up on the internet, because there are all these pedal builders and they have solutions. I don't want to be reinventing the wheel. Okay. I already bookmarked a page. Not bookmarked, but I have an open tab. I think it's this one. Free stomp boxes. That's the one. And let me see. Yeah, so this isn't disconnecting power. So that's, you know, okay, I got it here. I can't really practically show you this, but basically, yeah, so the signal, okay, so let's go back to this. So I did connect this signal. So now I need to, after all this nonsense, I actually need to remove this. The one that I at first wanted to connect, and I said, oh no, I got to go straight to this. No, I actually need to remove it. I do need to connect a separate cable and go through the switch. Okay, no problem. It's just a little tap with the soldering iron. Sometimes these things don't cooperate. So I add a little solder for heat sink. There you go. All right. So, so after all, the way I initially wanted to connect it was the correct way. But this one, I don't like this connection. Why is this giving me such a hard time now? Okay, melt it off. Come on. All right. All right. Yeah, as I was stripping, I actually cut the internal. Ah, come on. Okay, so let's try to use it as put. I see this annoying. Let's cut it with this. Okay, cool. So let's try to use it as pushback if it works, if it wants to cooperate. Because it is better if we can use it as a pushback. Yeah. All right. Prime it. Oh, come on. Okay. And that's it. Let it cool off. And we do the same with the white. Oh, come on. Sorry, I know you're not getting a good view of this, but I just need to get this done. So let me show you this angle. Okay, cool. So you see what I'm doing? This will need to be connected to the output jack here, like we tested it before. But the white one will need to be connected to the switch, and then this white one will need to be connected to the switch. And that's how it's going to work. And then we need a little jumper between the two here. Let me consult the, yeah, a little jumper. Not a, this way. Yeah. And then we also need to connect an LED. That's always nice, so you know when it's on or off. Okay. Oh. Okay. Here we have this. How long? How about this long? Pushback. Okay, it's actually working now. And so these two need to be connected with a jumper. Do I have a very short scrap wire? Yeah, look at that. You see? That's why I save scraps. Now I have it. Exactly what I need. Like that. So it's even too long, but I'll have to do this. Oh, I see. It doesn't fit through these holes. Okay. How about this one? Does it fit through? Yeah, this one does. Okay, so we'll use a smaller gauge wire, which also have a scrap. And something like this. Strip it. No, no good. cut through the wires. This is good. I never really trust wire strippers 100%. I'm always nervous that it's going to cut through the wire, and sometimes it does. So this is where I could use an extra hand, but I have a trick. Hold on. 4 people watching. Yeah. So the trick is, where did I put it? Putty. If I can find it. Is it here? I think it's here. Yeah. Poster putty. I've used this trick before on this channel. So here's this mess. So the poster putty goes here. Anywhere. And where's that wire? This needs to go here. It shouldn't stick out too much, right? And now I can solder. Okay, that's that. So that's connected here, and the other side goes here. And now because it's anchored here, I don't even need the poster putty to hold the wire, but I'll use it to hold the whole switch, the entire switch. That's it. You see, there's no wiggling, so you let it cool off without any wiggling and moving. Now, we need to connect the signal to this. And this wire is a bit thicker than we want it to be, but whatever. So we won't be able to go through this. Not a problem. Why they make it so small? Okay, I'm going to put some solder on the other one since we are going to be soldering there. Alright, and now, like I said, this goes here. And we can put poster putty here to hold this. And some more putty over there. Just, you can cut it with scissors. And of course it's reusable. Here, and now this wire goes here onto this. Maybe we put them together like this. Better. Or maybe I just hold it with my hand. Yeah, I'll be steady. So basically, you know, we tested the circuit and now we're expanding the circuit by adding a switch to it. And this one won't be used, so we are going to have to cap it with a whatchamacallit, shrink tubing. And now this one goes here. So I need a little bit of solder on the actual wire. Right, we already have solder on that, on the switch. That's it. So now we should be able to test the circuit once again with this switch. So the first test was without the switch. Now it's going to be with the switch. So what does the switch do? It bypasses. Yeah, it's a bypass switch. Bypassing the preamp. And then if we want to be fancy, we can add a, to the same switch, we can add an LED, which I don't have here, so I can't test it tonight. And if we want to be even fancier, Dr. Sean Barnes is in the house and Dr. Jeffrey Boyle, both of them are in the house, but we had 4 viewers, 2 of them say hello. So, so now we have the foot switch, bypass switch. Let's put this back the way I had it before, which was this way. And we had this connected to the positive, obviously, which is here. And it was connected to this battery thing here. Okay, a big mess, but I think I can keep track of everything. Okay, now the negative is connected to that, and it needs to be connected to this, I believe. Yeah. That's how it was before. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, so that's the tuner works. So now we once again need to connect. So this is already connected into the amplifier. And we need to connect the guitar to the jack, input jack of the unit we're building. So there's the cable. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. Not for now. Yeah, I just want to make everything a little more visible for you, for your viewing pleasure, if possible. So I'm not crazy about this being like this. Let's move it to the other side. Okay, so we have this here. So now the guitar is going to be connected to this. And this isn't for a guitar, right? This will be for a kora, African kora, African harp. But let me just disconnect this so that we have a better layout here. Again, for your viewing pleasure. So now this is on. When I disconnect this, right, it should be off. Off. Okay, so this works. Great. Okay. Now here I turned it off. Now we're gonna test the switch and that the preamp still works. So here's the input that's gonna come from the guitar. Now it would be better if this was an acoustic guitar without a preamp, because that's this kind of signal we're gonna be getting from the kora. But I have this guitar here, so it'll still function for the test. Okay, this is exciting. Now is the moment of truth is about to happen. It's connected to the guitar. So without the tuner, oh, I turn on the amp. That's it. Yeah. So why is this not working? What am I missing here? Oh, we have a switch. Yeah, now so now it's amplified, right? And now it should be bypassing. But I'm getting no signal at all from here. Why is that? Oh, I know why. I'm cutting the signal from the tuner to the preamp. Stupid. Okay, see? Logic. My screwed up logic. Okay, so this wire, we can do it without this jumper wire. It'll end up being connected to this output jack. So let's do that instead. I'm keeping it long for now because it's just for testing. Okay, this is going to be connected to this. I know I'm not going to do like a great solder joint, but again, it's just for testing. I'm going to resolder it later. Okay, so that we have less wires to look at. And now, let's disconnect it for now, so we're not draining the battery. And here, like I said, that was my screwed up logic, right? So we now need to, once again, disconnect this. This was connected properly. Now, hold on. This should go I am getting confused here. Let me think. Hold on, let me look at that chart again. Because I was looking at a diagram. Yeah, there's a lot more to it than that. Um, no, so this was okay. Okay, so this goes here, and that goes to the output there. This is a little more than my brain can process tonight. Okay, but I know where the mistake is. So okay, I know where the mistake is. Here we go. So this is correct. We need to go from the tuner into this. But now, instead of going here into the preamp, and then from the preamp to the output, we're talking just about this red wire here. When we push the switch, we should go from hold on, which way the sliders work. So from one of those free ones straight into that, instead of going here and then there. And this kind of bothers me that it's like this. Okay, well, we'll deal with this later. But one thing that we can do tonight still is, because I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure out the wiring. It's just one more wire here and there. Not a big deal. I can even do this at the very end. It'll work. Obviously, it will work because it will work. What I can do tonight. Oh, and yes, we're gonna have to figure out how to wire up the plus terminal to this. Okay, to power up this unit, which is the tuner. So the tuner is gonna go here. It's gonna be against this side, and the whole thing is going to be inside. So I need to figure out exactly. This isn't easy. Exactly where to drill this. So here's the screen from this tuner. Let me mount it back. I'm going to use this screen to drill the holes, so I know exactly where to drill. Yeah, so this is how it was. Great. I lost this almost. Like that. So the washer goes here, spacer, and this goes here. Okay. So now we can freely push. So we kind of pretend that this is this, and it's right against this wall, which means we can totally use this to mark off where this is going to be cut and drilled. Am I missing something? I don't think so. So now I just need to kind of make a note of this distance here. So what is this distance? How about I use this to measure? This much, okay. All right. So we keep this here so we don't lose it. And now I'm going to put some tape here so we can draw on the tape. And like I said, we used this as a measurement, and this goes right against this side. And we can mark off these positions. So I'm holding it down. Okay, and now we have these three, which are deep inside, just what I was hoping would happen. See, I'm holding it with my hand, hoping that it doesn't move. Or maybe I can use this. Yeah, I think I can use this. Yep. Can I? Is it drawing? Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's for the 3 LEDs. Okay, I have everything I need for this unit. So obviously, this is just going to be a drill. Here I'm going to find the center, which we can do now, kind of, like that, or even better, like this. Okay, so this is center line, is it? Almost. From the LED, center line. And we need to, I'm just going to eyeball the center here. That's good enough. There's going to be some slack anyway. Yeah, so this I'm going to cut on the milling machine, this opening. Oh, and now, so let me put another tape here. Is anyone watching? Is this a good show tonight or not? 3 people watching. Not a good show, I guess. Only 3 people watching. You know, I'll start doing unboxing videos. That's what people want to see. I say enough of this educational stuff. Show me a box and open it. Unbox a product that I might buy. Okay. Well, is this at a right angle? I'm going to get a right angle on the milling machine anyway. But that's that. So now I can measure this distance with a caliper. I'm going to put the other switch at the same distance from... I got calipers, right? That, lock it. Okay, scratch the surface and mark it off. And let's just make sure that this, which was kind of eyeballed, is in fact true. More or less, just a little bit lower by a small fraction that no one will ever notice anyway. Okay, we need 3 more holes for these. So this is going to go inside here, off to the side. And we are going to put some tape on the inside and some plastic. Maybe from, I like to recycle stuff, right? Yogurt container or something. Because of the electronics, where they can't come into contact with this. It is going to be a bit tight, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, so this is raised in this direction, so I hope it will fit and I hope it will work. Now, what we want to do is draw a line here based on this measurement. So this is the outside. So this isn't the center. This is where the potentiometers kind of end. And I'm adding a sliver to this. And then we want to measure the, so they're metric, right? I'm sure they are. Oh, hold on. 6.8 millimeters. So it's going to be 3.4 millimeters from there. 3.4. Yep, 3.4. And that's from this line. So that's going to be our center line for drilling. 3.4. I could even use this side even better. Let's double check. All right. And, you know, there's a little wiggle room here. So I'm going to go a little further away from this corner. And this one, I can just measure like this. From the edge, whatever that measurement is, just lock it and go from this edge here. Like that. Okay, so that's my center of this. Now, I said that this was, what? 6.8. So let's see. 17/64 of an inch. Does that even exist? Let me see. 1/4. Well, it exists in those fractional. I have fractional drills. I'm not going to bother with this now. So what I need to do on the milling machine at home, which is like a fancy drill press, drill smaller holes and then enlarge them here. And that I'll do with Eva when she comes. I think she'll have fun enlarging holes. I just don't want to bother. You see, this is already like an hour and 36 minutes. I didn't want to bother her with this. I can think of a better use of her time for the collaboration where, yeah, her presence is going to do more than just soldering and figuring out the wiring. Speaking of soldering, I can unplug this now because we're not soldering anymore. So yeah, I want to mark this off, and then I also want to mark off where the input and output jacks are going to go, right? That's also obviously important. And then if we want to be fancy, since I have these, this would be power in, and that's another reason why this should be off to the side, so that we can put power, 9-volt power from an adapter. Because if I put this in the middle, well, there will still be a room, space, but it's better like this. So the tuner is here and the preamp is here. I like that, off to the side. If you try to put it dead center and you miss a little bit, then it looks off. So it's better to just put it off to the side, and this way it looks like it was meant to be, not centered. So the battery is going to go here, and I got to figure out some kind of battery holder. You see what I'm just noticing? There's got to be enough space for the battery. Let me see this once again. No, that's fine. Okay, good. All right. Oh yeah. Now we need to measure the distance between the first one. So this is easy. So here we go, metric, 0 out, and then we measured from here to here, and we see that it's 39.5. Okay, but 39.5, well, we got to do it from here, from 0, 39.5. Okay, 39, almost, 0.5. Come on. 0.5, okay. So that's going to be the distance from here to here. And I'm just going to make a, yeah, like that, okay? And then we need the middle one. So 0.5, right? It's going to be 0.25. And instead of 39, we think of 40. That's 20. That's going to be 19 and a half. So 19.75. Did I get that right? Yeah. 19.75 from this one to the middle. Where is it? To the middle. Or from the middle to this one. Yeah, 19.75 was the center. So I'm going to write that down. So this is 19.75, and the whole thing is 39.5, so that I know at home that it's like that, right? And this one is probably going to be an inch thing. So like this, it says 11.75 millimeters, 59 1/28 of an inch, 15 30 seconds. And I bet that's the same here. But the hole, let me see, is bigger. 15 30 seconds. Let me measure this one. This one's different because, no. Same thing. 15 30 seconds. See, I'm going to write that down. 15 30 seconds of an inch, which is around 11.79 80 millimeters. So if I do 12 millimeters, I don't know which units to work in. 15 30 seconds. I hope this exists. But again, I'm going to draw small holes, and she'll be enlarging them. And now we need to measure holes for these. That's going to be imperial. 3/8. Okay. So that's 3/8. Okay. And now we try to fit everything here. The battery here. Output jack, which is this one, should go around here. There's plenty of room for the output jack. And I see a problem already. Now that's going to be a problem. So if I put the output jack here, we won't be able to open the box. Oh. So this is going to have to be the bottom of the box. So all these measurements now need to be transferred to this, so that this becomes the top. That's the only way to assemble this thing. This will be the bottom, and this will be the stump box. After all this work. All right. And these sides are slanted. Well, this is kind of meant to be the bottom anyway, right? All right, well, we got to start over. What can I tell you? It's life. Might as well check my messages. Take a little break. Any more sign-ups on the Instagram? Very cool guitar, awesome camera setup, especially with the microscope. Thank you very much. So, you know, I now use Instagram to funnel viewers to my channels here. So it's important to keep up the communication, algorithm, and all that stuff. Ba, 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 ba. You're in sleep mode. Consider closing Instagram. Apparently I'm in sleep mode. Consider closing Instagram. All right, I'll take your advice. Consider going to bed. But no, now, if I stop this, I'm not going to remember some things. So I need to finish it. Finish this part tonight. Okay? It needs to be done. Because otherwise, if I forget things, then I'll have to spend time figuring out what I just figured out tonight. So that's not efficient. Right. I hope this will work. Now, fortunately, I have, measurements here. I can just transfer. So this one, for example. Okay. We do this. There's a little incision. And we just draw a line. Like that. Now, we place this screen here. And that was based on this measurement. So this matches. And we said that we would butter up against here, right? So this, I guess. And we'll find the center of that. And, here. For the screen. And then we got these 3 little holes for the LEDs. I guess I might as well mark this off with a, okay, yeah, right? And this is going to be the center. I can just eyeball it, honestly, yeah. And now we are going to transfer this measurement to the other side. So that the 2 switches are the same distance away from the edges. Let's see. Yeah, this will work. Okay. Now, I can just transfer this center line to here. See, this wasn't too bad. And now transfer these measurements. The one from the edge, which is whatever this is. So let's think about this. So this means that this isn't even going to be touching the bottom now anymore. But I'll still put plastic here. But we do have these things touching, possibly touching this. So we'll insert a piece of plastic here. Not a big deal. this, and now we have 19.75 millimeters. 0 metric. 19.75. Where's that? Okay. That's it. That's right here. And one more time. Right here. And that should measure 39.5. Let's see. You know, these holes can be just, well, will have to be slightly oversized anyway, so that there'll be a little slack. I'm not worried. Now, the only thing that we might want to add to the whole thing is an LED that's going to indicate that the preamp is turned on. And the LED can go somewhere above the switch. So we'll see about that. I think I'm going to add an LED. So that's the center line. That's all I need. And we'll pick the spot at some future time. So this means now that it's a mirror image, right? So when this is installed, we'll need to put the input jack here. Okay. The input jack is going to go here. This switch is going to go here. Now it's sticking up, right? So that's not showing me how it's going to be really. And this is going to go here. And the battery is going to fit right here somewhere. I think I'm happy with this. Oh, the battery, sorry, the battery is going to go here, but the output jack needs to go here. Now for the output jack and the input jack, I don't need to drill this at home. I think I can do the drilling here. We're going to need a, there's like a special drill bit, I forgot what it's called. It's kind of like a conical thing that just goes in increments. I have it at home. I think I have a metric one. And for this we need 3/8 of an inch. Grandpa Joe is back. Yeah, so we're putting together this preamp pedal. So I'm going to remove this tape from the cover. So the cover is at the bottom. That's the first time I'm building a pedal like this, so Next time I will be more efficient, I hope. Yeah, I don't need to take this home. Where's the box? Okay, I'll clean up later. So I'm going to take home this and this just to have it. Oh, I'm excited about this. This is going to be so great. Yeah. Okay. So what I need to do is at the end, so this works now without this foot pedal doesn't work yet. Switch. So the bypass switch doesn't work yet, but it will work. I just need to figure out how it's going to work. So once again, the signal goes either straight into the preamp. That's when this is here, or when this is there, then the signal is going to go from here to this. Yeah, that's it. That's just one wire. Look, I can actually test this right now. I can test it, you know, completely. Let's use this jumper. Okay, so let's test it. So we don't need any of this here. It's cluttering. Like I said, it goes from here to here. Yeah, what was I not seeing before? This is so obvious now to me. Okay, this is going to be the layout. Here's a switch. The switch is for the bypass for the preamplifier. Now, I just got to lay it out clearly here. Okay. Like this. This goes here. And I believe this will now work. We have this switch. This wire isn't going to be connected to anything. This is the input. This is the output. Okay, output. From the pedal. We have this thing to tap into. From the positive terminal of the battery. Okay. And like I said, this goes from here to here. this is going to be connected to the guitar. Yeah, I'm going to keep it like this. And this way I can connect this easily. This goes from this positive terminal, gets power from the battery right here. So I need to figure out how to connect. So it's getting power from the battery because this is plugged in. Now when we unplug it, it no longer gets power from the battery. That's how we want it. And now we turn off the tuner. And now that's already connected to the amplifier. The amplifier is off. And now I'm going to connect the guitar. So here's the guitar connection. Which is going to be connected to this. Okay, and now we have the moment of truth. Turn on the amp. So does this work? Oh. We're getting some interference now. And now it goes through the preamp. But when we bypass, if I up the volume, it's getting some interference, and I know why. Because we're not disconnecting this preamplifier. So this wire, the red one, also needs to be connected to the same switch as a disconnect thing. And then in addition to connecting this to the output, it'll be at the same time disconnecting this to the output, right? So that we don't get this. I don't know if you hear this. Okay. So now, does the tuner work when it's in bypass? Yeah. I can see that it's working. Right? Now it's off. Now we hear. So that's bypass. Yeah, that's the bypass. And now, like this. Okay, it's amplifying really loud. And here, again, it disconnects, and we have the tuner is working. So it works. What else am I forgetting? Okay, so this red wire is going to have to be connected to yeah, I mean, there's a whole bottom, the middle row of these switches which I can use. But that means that in that case, I will not have any free connectors for the LED. I don't think I will. Let me check again. Yeah, I don't think I will. Yeah, it's all gonna be taken. Sorry. Okay, so I guess we have one disadvantage. I think the LED isn't the important thing. I wish I could make it work, but it just isn't possible. So it's either we lose the LED or we lose that full bypass where it also disconnects completely the preamplifier. And you know, for sound, obviously we're doing this for better sound. We need to disconnect the preamplifier. So that's not optional. We just need to disconnect the preamplifier. Okay. So this is what our circuit looks like. Now I can put this away. All right. So input from the guitar. Well, output from the guitar goes into the input of the tuner. Now, the tuner, when it's turned on, disconnects signal going any further into the preamplifier so that we don't hear, so that the audience doesn't hear the tuning, the annoying tuning, right? When the tuner is off, we're not tuning. Then the signal goes through the switch, either into the preamplifier, and then from the preamplifier into the output, or like this. Instead of going into this wire, it goes into this wire, straight into the output. But then at that same time, this wire actually is going to have to be routed through here. There's really no other way, right? So that it can be disconnected from the output, so that we don't get like some kind of ghost signals like we were just hearing now, which I believe you weren't hearing because my mic isn't picking this up, or maybe you were hearing, I don't know. Okay, kids, that's it. So this is all now documented, which means if I forget what I was talking about, I can just watch the replay. How many are watching? 3 people are watching. And I'm done for the night. Okay. Yeah, I'll clean up. So what's next? I am going to take this home and do some drilling and milling. Oh yeah, and I forgot to write what the size was for the, and I already put away the caliper. So that's the measurement I forgot to transfer. Actually, even the other measurement. Okay, these holes are going to be 9/32, or they could be 17/64. So let's see what kind of 17/64 to 9/32. So 17/64 to 9/32 of an inch. The metric isn't 6.87 millimeters, maybe. Maybe it's 7 millimeters. It's actually 7 millimeters. So I'm talking about, well, I guess I should show like this. These 3 holes for these 3, 7 millimeters. So I think I have a metric 7 millimeter drill bits, a drill bit, so I will do that. Now the holes for this are going to be 9/64. So these are 9/64. The hole for this (15 30 15 30 seconds. So what's that in metric, if I have metric? So maybe it's supposed to be 12 in metric millimeters. It's a little more than 15 30. I'd rather it to be tighter, to be honest with you. Yeah, rather a little tighter, as long as it fits through. But I'm going to write it down, 12 millimeters or 15 30 seconds. I write it down there. And then we have the screen. This is going to look good. And the side holes we are going to drill on the spot here. Yeah. Oh, it's almost tomorrow. 2 hours, 13 minutes and 27 seconds. Well, it did take longer than I thought. It always does. So, was that worth it? You know, you can buy a preamp pedal, you know, like the Fishman is like $300. Some cheaper ones are, but this is a Fishman preamp. So, I don't know. Worth it? Maybe. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know. Was it worth it? I don't know. Well, it will be a custom-made pedal. Okay, so it'll be special in that way. The only one, unique. And it'll work. So I'm taking this home. And where's the box? Here. Okay, so this goes... No, I'm going to do a separate box now, because this is now its own little thing. Here's a box. What is today? Thursday. Still Thursday. So tomorrow will be Friday. And tomorrow is a Somehow I think it's a big day for me. So this is recycling. And, oh, here's the unit. We put it in the box. That's basically all we need, this. And the battery. We'll put this little thing here and this little thing as well. We don't need it, but just in case. And this goes here. What else goes here? Oh, the screws. Oh yeah, almost forgot. So we might also install a power connector, and that we can figure out when it's inside the box. That's not a big deal. So I put this here as well. So this would use a 9-volt power connector, the standard for instruments, right? Same thing. Why not? This way the battery is the backup, but the power connector is it. So she's going to need a power adapter, which is just a regular 9-volt that you buy at any music stores. I might even have one laying around, might even have 5 laying around, so we'll see. Yeah. So this is recycling. We have recycling there. Kids, I'm going to say goodnight. It's past our bedtime. I didn't want to stay up that late, but I did. And I know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to wake up early again, brainstorming about something. And I know what I'll be brainstorming about. So there's something that I don't want to tell you yet. That I don't want to announce yet. I did send it in an email. Why is it that I am so excited about this collaboration? There's a potential that I haven't discussed publicly that I noticed, and I hope that we can work on that. So I'm talking about Eva Sita. And to be honest with you, the first time that I mentioned it to her was in an email that I sent in the morning today. Because we haven't had time to really discuss. And this week is Fashion Week, so she doesn't have time to come over and discuss or discuss anywhere this week. Although we did meet up twice, and we even had a FaceTime call. The FaceTime call had to turn in a different direction because of something that developed, not with me. So that potential that I cannot discuss just yet, I can only say that I hope it can be worked on. And it would be a real shame if there was no time to work on it, for whatever reason. Yes, friends. I hope I be able to announce things, but what's happening at the same time is something that's different with a company. And I did mention that something is happening on some Instagram posts. But I didn't say what company or what. And the thing with the company is so promising. First of all, I spoke with the CEO of the company. And through him, I got in touch with the proper people at the company, two top executives, right? And they are requesting a third call with me. So they're requesting it. Hold on, let me put this away. I don't know what's going to happen, if anything. Who knows? But they don't need to tell me that they're interested. I can tell that they're interested because for the third time, they're really busy. Those are the really busy people. They want to talk to me for the third time to figure out how we're going to do this. So if that happens, that much I can tell you, that I want Eva Sita to then be part of that. And she would fit right perfectly into that thing. So while she's unrelated to that, those are two unrelated things, actually, she would become, hopefully, very much involved with that. And she doesn't even know what that is yet. So somehow things are falling into place, but at the same time, what happened one evening when I was live streaming, and I said, I don't know if you guys were watching then, that I'm worried about her because not only have I not heard from her, but her pattern had changed because she goes between having it silenced and not silenced, the phone. She never has it not silenced all day. So I started, getting some dark thoughts that maybe something happened. Hold on a second. Then, was it 2 days later? I talked to her on the FaceTime. And the first thing I said was like, damn, I was really worried about you because of this. And she said, you were right on. Something did happen. And in fact, two things happened, right? And one of those things led to that she has to leave town at the end of the month, that she has to move out. So, but I'm not going to explain why, because that's her thing. So she, unless something happens that changes that, which we never know, right? So that's, everything else is aligning except this thing that just got, the obstacle. So it was actually a difficult conversation to have over FaceTime. But I just want to say that nothing happened, because you're not seeing her now and you're probably not going to be seeing her much of her. We're actually good friends. And I was helping her with her shoots and everything because she really needed that. But because of the move now, I don't know what kind of presence she will be able to offer here, which is fine. And that might be just temporary for a few months, right? And she's going to try to figure out a way to move back to New York. Maybe, maybe not. She also did say that, she said that on the channel here that she wants to go to Miami. So even that, I don't know. But I'm just brainstorming with some ideas here that I can't talk about just yet. All right. Maybe I'll move to Miami. Yeah, Grandpa Joe, thank you. Grandpa Joe says, hope it works out for you. Thank you. And Rubbish Guitar Blog, have I missed anything? Yes, I guess, yes. I can get into it right now. So, can I put a link to the previous live stream? Let me see. And I don't know which one it was when I said, I was worried. Where is this? Let me try. YouTube Studio. Content. And copy. Get shareable link. Okay, cool. So now if I go to here, this, okay. Link to Eva Sita episode. Boom. All right. So this was like kind of announcing that we would be collaborating together and I'd be sponsoring her, and we signed the contract right before that show. And then a couple of days later, which was when? Which live stream? Nah, I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly. September 3rd, 4th, 5th. I think it was on the 5th. Let me see. Third, 4th, 5th. No, I don't know anymore. I think it was on the 6th. Yeah, it might have been this one. I'm just going to assume it's this one and grab the link. Copy link. This one's less important. I was just saying that I'm worried that something happened to link to possibly, I don't know what to call it, to me worrying. I don't know. But that's just a headstock repair. But I was just talking, right? Because yeah. It's hard to talk about something when I can't really share details. There are some details that I, can't share. And I hope I can share them, as in good news. This is it. But I don't know. We'll see. All right. I think it's time to say goodnight. So thank you all for watching. 3 viewers. All right. Only 3. It's not the quantity, it's the quality, right? 3 high-value quality viewers. That's what counts. And I say good night to you, all three of you.